For every rustic town there's a river, and for every river there's a watermill. I'm going to show you how to make a rustic one chunk watermill for your world. Don't you go anywhere. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on what time you're watching this next video from me, Amamans. And today we are building more one chunk ability. We've got a 16 by 16 grass square that I am standing on right now. In the background, you can see the one chunk modern house, and in the further background, you can just as it starts to fade out, you can see the one chunk complete base that we did within the last few weeks. But here we go. We're going to do a different one chunk today. We're going to do a one chunk watermill, kind of a rusticy style watermill. I'm a little bit nervous about it, I'm going to be honest, because this one is going to be quite a tricky technical build, I think. But we're going to try and do it together, and hopefully we can demystify it, and as a result we can make it look pretty good. If you do enjoy the video, do make sure you slap the like button. I reckon this one is going to be well worth a thumbs up, and if you've not done it already, hit the sub button as well. It'd be great to see you in that sub club. Let's get on with the build. So again, we're going freestyle, but the kind of stuff I'm going to be using is very woody and stony. We've got mossy stone bricks as well as stone bricks and cracked stone bricks, which are dead easy to make. And we're using a spruce door rather than an oak door, which I tend to like to use. We've got obviously the stuff that you'd put in your house, like a bed and a crafting table, some storage, and we've got a furnace. Then we've also got a hay bale, because I think that might be quite nice. I've got some bone meal, so as I can build up a little bit of landscape. And all in all, this is going to be, I want to say interesting, but I think tricky is going to be the other way to go. So there might be some other stuff that we put in, and we might not use all of this, but let's see how we go. So the first and probably most challenging part is working out where we're going to put this wheel, because the wheel is going to be the tricky bit. So I think the wheel has got to be, how many blocks have we got? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in. We want the outside of the wheel to be there, so that's 3. So that's going to be the wall of the building, I think. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, no, you know what? That's going to be the wall of the building, I reckon. So we're going to cut 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then this is where we're going to start to build out our wheel. So the first bit of the wheel is going to be there. We're going to put that in the middle, and we're going to put that on the outside. I'm not quite sure how we're going to do it. So that's going to come out 2 on either side. That's not going to go there. 2 on that side, 2 on that side, and then we're going to come 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to build the entirety of the structure of this at the moment. Right, so I think I'm 1 short. There we go. There and there. There and there. There and there. And then this is going to come up 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, I think that's going to be better. 1, 2, and 3. That's going to come up there in 1, 2, whoops, 3, 4, and 5, and then that is 1, 2, and 3. I think that's right. So, and then what we're going to do is we're going to get that there, that there. I think, no, maybe that's going to go there. 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 Not sure about this yet, people. I'm just kind of planning it out a little bit. That's going to be like that. That's going to be like that. And that's going to be like that. Okay. That, not sure whether that's quite there for me. Let's try that there and that there with that in. That's probably a little better, actually. And then we're going to come up. I'm just going to dig this out so I can get underneath it. That there like that. And then come up on this side, because this side hasn't got any of the fence done yet. Let's go there and there and there. There. Whoops, not there. Don't want to cross link that like that, that like that, that like that, there and there. This is a bit of a brain ache, this one. Hang on, so we want that to be like that. So how does that look? Let's see, does that sort of look like a, I mean, obviously it's not a circle, but as wheels go, that is not too awful, I don't think. So we'll get rid of that, and get rid of that. Because what we do want to do is we want to be bringing in this wheel. It's got to come inside, because we also need to build up the actual Let's get some iron bar. I wonder if iron bars will work. Let's try it. We also need to build up the actual millstones, don't we? Because the millstones are what make the mill work. So we're going to have a millstone on the bottom of that, and then we need to build a millstone needs to come the bottom of that. So the millstones are slightly separated. There, that, like that, like that, like that, and like that. How are we going to make this work? There, 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 and there. We are living in a world of blocks, so it is not out of the question that we would have a square millstone. Now, it's not ideal, but that's having a half gap there is better than having no gap, I reckon. So I think that's all right. So that is the millstone. I need to get under. Can I get under there? Will that allow me to put something there? No, it won't anyway. So, okay, not to worry. Let's replace that. We also need to come around and replace that as well. And we need to dig a channel around and underneath there too. Just for now. We're going to adapt that in a minute, but just for now, we're going to build that channel. Then what we've got to do is we've got to get ourselves the wall, haven't we? So we need to make sure that we're building big enough around here. Yep, so we need a bit of overlap space. So I'm just kind of building out a nice area for this water mill, which we can then... How big is that? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gaps. That's perfect. Let's come down here, there, and there, down here, there, and there. So I reckon that's quite a nice shape for a water mill. We like that. That's quite decent. Now we've got to decide how we're going to build it out. So let me just get my spruce door. I'm going to put spruce door there. And I think a water mill is likely to only have one door. I don't think it's going to have a back door. It's only really going to have a front door. Its sole function is to mill stuff, right? So that is how we're going to move forwards. And we are going to... I think that we're going to have to do some clever work with some... Where's some clever work with this. We're not going to have... Normally what I would do, I'd have this kind of out in that corner and it would be indented. We're not going to do that this time. We're going to do it flat, and I'm going to try and get some additional detail in there in a slightly different way. But I think that's probably best. So let's come up 4. How high is 4 compared with that wheel? I'm going to have to come up 5. 5 there, 5 there. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now what we're not going to do now is put in cross beams, because the cross beams are not going to work at all. What we do want to try and do, however, is get some glass in there and there. We're going to have some windows on that side, but not using glass. We're going to use glass pane, and there's going to be a long window all the way along that is too high. If I can actually get it in. There, no, I always do that, don't I? Right, so that there, and then we're going to have just a little window here. But that's probably big enough, I think. So then what we're going to do is we're going to start to build up this walls, and like we always do, I'm just going to get my different stone variants all ready, and the cracked stone as well. And what we're now going to do is we're going to build up these walls in a way that makes it look realistic. Now here we're going to have a much higher amount of mossy stone brick, and the reason for that is there is likely to be a much higher amount of moss on what's going to be a wet wall. So we just want to build up wet wallage, basically. Not everything's going to be mossy, obviously. Let's come out on the inside, that might help us. But we are going to find that we've got more moss perhaps than we would normally have, and perhaps the odd cracked, but not too many. I don't want to overdo the cracked brick too much. That can come like that. We can have a cobble there, a mossy stone there, standard stones there, maybe put another cracked one in there, and this one here can be another smooth stone. Put smooth stone in there, cobble in there, and another mossy in there. So that's a very mossy area. We're going to have far less mossy brick as we go around here. I'll put a little bit there. We're going to put normal stone brick there. We're going to get some smooth stone going, some smooth stone there. And you can see what we're building up, which is basically going to go around and we're going to make this nicely textured because we've not got the depth that we've got from a normal build that we would normally have, because these wooden pillars are not in the same place as they would be if we were doing a more depth a depth build, but we've not got that right now. So let's just keep building up these walls, and I'll be back when the walls are done. So we've got our walls made up and they look pretty good on their own. That window might be a little bit too big, I'm not sure. We'll keep an eye on that. We've got a nice little window there and we've got a teeny tiny little window right there. I'm keeping an eye on that window, I'm not entirely certain. But what we are going to do now is we are going to just shove an upside down stair there, and we're also going to start to give ourselves a little bit of kind of depth across these walls. And what we want to do is we want to try and get, I guess you could say, just a little bit of shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to give ourselves a little kind of indented overhang across here, and it looks a little odd at the moment, but it will make sense, trust me. Let's come across here. I'm going to do it all the way around, and it gives kind of a little indented ledge at the top of that wall and acts in kind of the same way, I guess, as the so this is going to be interesting to do, in it acts in the same way as that. How am I going to do this? This is going to be very interesting. I actually don't know how I'm going to achieve this, so I think what I've got to do is I've got to get those out, and I'm going to have to do it literally by taking these bits out and replacing them. Oh, that's a pain, but that's okay. That's okay. We can do that. That's all good. And then we are going to get our fence back and our blocks back. We've got to put these blocks back in, and the fence is back in. Where's the fence? So that's going to go there, there, and there. The block's going to go there, and there, and there, and there. Have I done that right? And there. Okay. So then we've got, any fence missing? No, I think we've got that right. Okay, so we've got that back. That's good. We haven't fluffed it. At least we haven't fluffed it yet. But what we do need to do is get exactly the same here. No, upside down, going around there. Going around there. And then we've got to put a little blanker on the back of this. Doesn't matter what it is. This is the little blanker. And we're going to try and get an upside down set of steps that does that. There we go. So that works very nicely. Thank you. So that's the kind of the overhung roof. But what we need to do now is create an extension to that roof. So what we've got to do is we've got to get ourselves, where's my cobblestone stair? I've already got it out. So we're going to create a little kind of overhang that's like that, and it comes out. Same on this side, overhang, and it comes out. But we're not going across that way. Got overhang that comes out, because we're going to take out these little ones here that aren't overhanging. And then we're going to have that overhanging like that. Will that work? I wonder. We'll see. We'll see if that works. Because I've got a little sneaky suspicion that might not go. But we're going to try it anyway. So what we're going to do, this is quite a big gable end here. I don't think I like it. I actually don't think I like it. So we're going to put that round that way instead. That's a much, much better idea actually. So it's going to come out that way. That way it incorporates that, which is much better. We like that. That's good. That is a good gable end. And we're going to try and not block off the wheel by putting an apex on there, just a standard one. Right, so if we do that, that should theoretically go over that wheel. Yes, it will. We've got there. That comes up like that and like that. That comes down, down there. That comes down there. And that's all right. Have I got a cobblestone block? Yes, I do. We can fill that with a cobblestone block. And as we normally do, we can shove that bit coming out over the wheel, and it kind of protects the wheel a little bit. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do a similar thing with this gable, there and there, but we're going to make this an extended gable, which we do like to do sometimes. So we're going to come there, we're going to come there, and we're just going to get an upside down set of steps there and there. We're going to shove that there and that there, like that, like that. Now the question we want to ask ourselves now is, do we want to carry on making this going straight up, or if we wish, we can actually round that off now like that. And you can see that gives quite an interesting shape, and I'm going to go with that. I'm going to pop that there, I'm going to pop that like that, and we're going to do the same on this side, but this one's going to be a little bit more interesting because we've got this big old gable part here, and it wants to come that way and it wants to go up that way, so we need to be really careful how we do this. So we're going to come up there, and we're going to put our cobblestone there, but we've also got to come along opposite to this. So following that we're going to have a gable end that's sort of there like that, aren't we? Except we want to do it with stairs. We want to do it with stairs the right way up, like that. There we go. So that I think is in line. Yes, it is. So if I then go up like that, we can pop that there, and then we can carry on making the roof in exactly the same way. So let's get that done. Like that. What's not quite right there? That's not quite right there. So that's going upside down, that's going upside down, and then we curve it around so as it is not entirely done. That comes out like that, and that comes out like that, and we are still within. No, we're not. We have to get rid of that. Okay, so we've not got an overhang that side because that would put us outside of where we want to go, and we just definitely don't want to do that. Okay, that's fine. That's good. We're happy. That's brilliant. So now what we're going to do is we're going to shove this. We're going to shove. No, we're not. We're going to shove this all the way along like that, and we're going to get ourselves some slab, and with the slab we're going to come this way like that. So we've got a bit of an overhang there. Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. That'll work. That'll work. That will work. I'm not uncomfortable. That's going to go into the roof like that, and then we're just going to have our steps coming along this way, coming across and over. This will be opened up fairly shortly. You'll see how in a minute. That's cool. Yep, so now what we're going to do is we've got to have this come in that way, and actually that needs to go in the opposite direction. So we'll do that in a sec, and this coming that way, and that comes in the opposite direction. Nope, the opposite direction like that. That can then come out, and that's got to come in like that. There we go. So we've got a functional roof. That is going to end up being a block, not a slab. Yes, it is. That's going to end up being a block, not a slab, which means they are two. And then we get another set of stairs across there, and we just carry on doing the same thing over and over. And what I am going to do is I'm going to put, not the first one, but there, and there. Not the first one, there, and there. Upside down steps. That's then going to come out there. And there. Like that. We're going to get ourselves a joiner like that. And a joiner like that. There we go. So you can see how we're going to build this roof up. I'm going to come along the other side. We're going to do exactly the same. We're not going to put an upside down one there, but we are going to put it all the way along here. Not in that last one. And then build up a roof as we go like that. So I'm going to carry on building up that roof, and I'll be back when I've done it. So we've got the roof on, but we've got blooming great big holes in where we should have not holes. So we're going to build up a kind of inner to this area here, which is why we didn't put a upside down stair everywhere, but we're going to leave a 2 high 1 wide hole on that side, and we're going to do exactly the same here. So build that up like that. That's going to come there, that there, there and there and there. So we've got another 2 high hole there. Now I need to come around and look and see what we've got here, because I'm actually not sure how that looks. But we need to do something similar, definitely. So let's gain some consistency there. I think we're just going to have one hole there, and we need to get ourselves, the glass has gone. Where's the glass gone? Right, so let's get the glass in there, there and there, there and there. Now what this is a very high cottage, and that means it lends itself a little bit to having a double floor, which is great. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a double floor that's a little bit mezzanine-y, and we're going to work out how we're going to get up to the double floor after we've put the double floor in. So we're going to put the floor all the way across, but then we're probably going to take some of it away because we need to, because we want it for, you know, access to the second floor as well. So we've got a nice area there. We just need to decide how we're going to get up to it. Where do we want our steps that access this area? And I'm tempted, because we've got this big old window, to take away some of this window. I said I was worried about it, so I'm going to take away those two. I'm then going to get some stone back. Let's get that there, that there, that. We're going to put smooth stone there and there. We're going to get cobble in there, and that stone in there. There we go. So now what that's going to allow us to do is to access the roof space, and we want to be able to access the roof space from there, which gives us that, which gives us that, which gives us that, and that's okay. I'm happy with that. And then we can put a second lot along there like that, and I'm actually just going to fill all of this in, because I think in a mill you're not going to have all fancy pants upside down stairs. I think you're just going to have something that looks a little bit like that, and we're going to have a storage area under there that looks like that, and I think that will do. And we can fill that up with something interesting. What should we fill up with? Let's fill that up with, right, first off I'm just going to fill that there because I don't want anything spawning in it. And we're going to shove 4 furnaces under there like that, and that works quite well. I like that very much. So we're going to come up here, we've got to take out these, and how far have we got to take them out? So if I then walk up the stairs, it lets me. Okay, so that's what we've got to take out. We've got a good second floor there now, and we want to have, what does the oak fence look like if we put that there? Oh, of course that's going to be the wrong size and shape, but that's all right. We can do something with that in a minute by putting a support there and there. Okay, that actually works quite well. I like that. I like that. That gives a very defined entrance, and we're just going to leave that open because I think it would almost certainly be open in a mill. I don't think they'd be too concerned about that being open at all. What I am going to do is I'm going to create the illusion of a higher spindle on that there and there, I think, because I think it needs to have a high spindle. It just makes it look a little bit more realistic. I'm a bit happier with that than I was with the other one. I'm now going to get some torches, because this wouldn't have anything except torches in it, certainly. So let's actually, let's get rid of that one. Let's get rid of that one, put that there, put that like that, and that like that, and I think that's probably sufficient for that bit. We're going to put a torch either side of that window. We're going to put a torch either side of that window, and we're going to put a torch there. I think that will do. So we've got enough light at the top, and we'll worry about the bottom in a minute. We're not quite there yet. We're not ready. I'm just going to get, just not entirely happy with that. I think I'm happy with that because it looks like it's got a base now. Okay, that's much better. We need to do something with some detailing in here. It's all too flat. But the first thing we're going to do is look to detail the outside a little bit. So what I've done on the outside, I've just put feet. You can see here we've just literally put a foot either side of the stone on all of those legs. You can see round there, round there. We've not overlapped the 16 by 16, so we have not remotely cheated. And then I've just taken out a little bit of landscapage here, and I'm just working out exactly how we want to do this. I think that's going to be like that. That is fine. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to put water in there like that. I don't want it to be still water, because that's not what it would be if it was here. I just want to try and fill up this area, because this area I do want to be a little more still. Okay, let's fill that up there like that. Okay, I like the movement. So we've got a little bit of movement on the water, which is great. I'm going to keep that movement. That's good. And that's obviously providing the watermill with the water. Now, I would obviously want to take this out, but that's just going to spew the water backwards. And I don't want to spew the water backwards. I want it to keep kind of contained. So I'm trying to work out whether or not I'm going to do anything about that. But I think I'm just going to leave it like that for now, I reckon. I think that's quite reasonable. We're then going to get, where's my spade? I'm going to get my spade, and I'm going to just do that so as we can see a nice little path at the front. I'm going to get oak fence there and there and there, so that gives us that kind of little area there, which is quite nice. We are also going to get, where's my hoe? We're going to just here on these 6 bits, we're going to put some seeds in, because if this is a watermill, it's got to have something to mill, right? So we're just going to put some seeds in there so they can grow. We're going to bone mill them up. There we go. I think that looks great. And then what we're also going to do here is we're going to, I'm just going to bone mill this too, because it's going to be quite rustic looking around here. We want it to be, you know, overgrown and a little bit wild. We're going to do the same along these sides too. How does that look like from the front so far? So from the front so far, that looks okay. Now we're going to just, this is too flat. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a shelf along there. We're going to come around the back of this, and we're going to put in the same place a shelf along there. We're not going to put any shelving in here because we've got the wheel is in the way. We're going to come up on the top, and we want to put ourselves a chimney. And I want to do it on this side of the house, even though this side is asking me, begging me to do it. I want to put it on this side of the house. And the reason I want to put it on this side of the house is I think if we're going to have a fireplace, it needs to obviously go somewhere. And if we don't put it here, it ain't going to go anywhere. So we're going to put that there. We're going to get our stone bricks there. We're going to carry on the little bit of cobbly bobbly there and there. Stone bricks can go there. Smooth stone can go there. It's a little central. It's not as ideal as it could be. We're just going to get ourselves a little thing there, and I think that is enough. Let's find some cobwebs. Where's my cobwebs? I know they're around here somewhere. Cobweb. That will do. Escape that. So I can get my cobweb, and I can create some smoke coming out of here, because I think we definitely would have smoke coming out of here without a doubt. But we don't again want to come out of the 16 by 16, so I'm going to come this way like that. Okay, I think that's enough. We are still within the 16 by 16, so that is good. So then what I'd like to do is get some wooden trapdoors, and we're going to put a trapdoor there and a trapdoor there. We'll do, that's quite a lot of open stone. We're going to do something with that in a minute. We're going to put a trapdoor there and a trapdoor there, there and there. I'm going to do the same on this one. And there's no window there. We're then going to get some ladders. Where's my ladder? There we go. Let's get a ladder. And we're going to try and put a little bit of detail on this wood. And ladders work really, really well. They don't look like ladders, really, once you shove them on these wooden poles. They look like just additional grain and perhaps a plant train or something like that. But it looks really quite effective, and I like it a lot. I have to say, it's actually one of my things that I like to do from time to time on these sorts of builds. And then I want to get some, where the vinage, there's some vinage. I'm going to try and see what a little bit of vine is going to look like on here. Not too much, because if we put too much on, it ain't going to work. We can put a little bit there, a little bit there, perhaps a little bit over there, and there. Just kind of corner off like that, but we don't want too much. And then we're probably going to have a bit coming down here like that, and here like that, I reckon that's probably plenty. So how are we looking on that side? So we can get a little bit of vinage in there, I think, definitely. And a bit of vinage on that. So that might grow nicely. And that's coming together. I think we are nearly there as far as the build is concerned. Let's just shove a little bit more rusticy looking there. A little bit more there. And I think I would like to see what it looks like if we put a lily pad on here. Is it going to accept a lily pad or will it not? It will there, I know, because that's a source block. It's not going to accept it unless it's a source block, I don't think. So, oh no, it will. It will. Okay, so we've got some lily pads there, which is nice. And what I am going to do, we're going to put some reeds in. But of course, they're not actually reeds. It's sugarcane. But it will still work as reeds, like that. And I think that is enough kind of planty looking detail as far as that is concerned. Now we just need to just check around the entire building just to see whether there's anything else that we want to do right now. I'm going to say no for now, and we're going to go back inside. Okay, so this is my irritated voice because I just recorded about 10 minutes of footage and it all failed. And I'm not going to redo it, but I am going to introduce you to what we did. So we've put some hay bales around the sides here with some storage, and we've changed up the floor. So we've got gravel, we've got podzol, we've got some wood, we've got coarse dirt so it doesn't grow any grass on it. And it just makes for a really nice texture. If you look up here, it does make for a really nice looking texture on the floor, because I think you'd have fairly dirty floor in the floor of a mill. And upstairs what we've done is actually not very much at all. We've put a little platform here, the bed is on it, we've got a little bit of storage, and that's really all we've done. We've not done anything more than that. And then on the outside we've placed some detail like this hay here, and we've just made it look a little bit more interesting with that splash of colour. And then on the outside here we've put a window ledge, which is just an upside down spruce stair with a flower pot and an orange flower. Again, that little point colour gives it just a slight more little bit of interest for me, and as a result lifts the entire building, and I think that looks really, really good. So there you have it, one watermill in one chunk, just 16 by 16. I thought we would have just a little quick peek of it in the shaders, which I do enjoy doing. I think it looks really, really quite nice. The shadow is maybe on the wrong side of the building, so we'll perhaps fix that if we do a thumbnail. But I think it works out quite well. I'm interested in your ideas as how to do the wheel of a watermill, because it's really, really very, very tricky. But I think that worked out quite nicely. So that is a watermill in a single 16 by 16 chunk, and I think it worked out quite well. Probably ways to do the wheel a little bit better. The wheel could possibly be a little bit bigger, and I'd be really interested to see what you guys come up with your one chunk watermill. Looking forward to the pics being sent to me too at AvoMinecraft at Twitter. That would be absolutely brilliant. If you've enjoyed this video, please do slap that like button. It'd be great to know you're enjoying the One Chunk series, and I'll keep making the videos. What would you like to see in a single chunk? Let me know in the comments below, and maybe I can include it on the schedule. Also, if you've not done it already, please do hit that subscribe button and the notifications bell. It'll be great to know that you're in my sub club and notification squad, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.